Good evening. Welcome to Grandma's Attic Music Review. I'm so happy to be with you. I'm happy to be with you every Saturday night. It's a joy and a pleasure to be able to bring to you really great music. I say really great music because if I didn't think it was really great music, I probably wouldn't have it on my show, right? So tonight we're going to be treated to a very, very special night of music. You have met this gentleman before, but not by himself. The last time he was here, he was with his friend Terry LaChance. They are the Rob and Terry, or the Terry and Rob duo. Terry and Rob duo, let me get it right. And they do a lot of originals, and they do some very socially relevant, that's a good word, right? Socially relevant music. Terry writes some seriously socially relevant music. She's very interested in changing the climate of the world, and I agree with her 100%. She's amazing. But with her is this equally amazing person that helps to write the music and sings and plays bass and also plays guitar, and he's going to do all of the above. He has brought with him some originals. He's going to do some covers, and then he's going to come talk to us. It's going to be a great night of music and conversation. So please help me welcome into your home Rob DeSorbo.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Thanks for having me tonight. Love being here. Of course, I don't know where to start, and people that know me usually see me on a bass. Well, here you go. I'm on the guitar. I like to wake up Sunday mornings and just sit down and start to play sometimes, because when you get home in the middle of the night, you pretty much, sometimes I play before I go to bed, even though I did a gig. At the same time, sometimes I just sit down, and this is an original piece, so I guess I'll move on through some original stuff. Here we go. Just going to get down on a little of this, wake up on a Sunday morning. lost for the people and the places that we know. True love is a thing, it always costs. Though our lives must go on, we know. You can't live your life in the past, when for some it's a fight to live each day. For your life may go by too fast, maybe too fast to love life in every way. So let's all remember something, because this is so true. True love is the richest and the purest thing that any of us has ever Stills and Nash. Find the cost of freedom buried in the ground. Mother Earth will swallow you. Lay your body down. Of freedom buried in the ground. Mother Earth will swallow you. Lay your bodies down. Some Neil Young. Blind man running through the light of the night with an answer in his hands. I'll make a mess of. Old man sitting by the side of the road with the roadies rolling by. Sinking from the weight of the load, and the buildings scrape the sky. Cold wind ripping down the alley at dawn, in the morning paper flies. Dead man lying by the side of the road with the daylight in his eyes. Don't let it bring you down. It's only castles burning. Find someone who's turning. You will come around. Blind man running through the light of the night with an answer in his hands. Come on down to the river of sight and you can really understand. Red lights are flashing through the window in the rain. Can you hear the siren moan? White cane lying in the gutter in the lane when you're walking home alone. Don't let it bring you down. It's only castles burning. Find someone who's turning. You will come around. Don't let it bring you down. It's only castles burning. Just find someone who's turning, and you will come around. Crosby, Stills, and Nash. My head is hanging heavy with the thoughts of him in mind. 'Tis sacrilege for us to take advantage of the blind. So tell before you come to me from out of yonder skies. A man's a man who looks a man right between the eyes. And the pain that we could bring to him, I don't think he could beat. Please don't ask me how I know. I've just been up that street. And all the people living there have been silenced by their own lies. A man's a man who looks a man right between the eyes. La-da-da-da-da, la-da-da-da, la-da-da-da. And talking from experience, I know how he would feel, waking up and finding that his one love wasn't real. Yet the age of truth will soon appear. Aquarius arrives. A man's a man who looks a man right between the eyes. La-da-da-da-da-da-da. La-da-da-da-da-da. La-da-da-da-da-da-da. La-da-da-da-da-da-da. A mix of stuff. I don't know how long I've been going, but I might move to the bass after this one. This is one of mine. I have a friend. She makes me smile. She makes me smile all the time. I have a friend. She makes me smile deep in my mind all the while. Whose can she be? She's here with me. In my mind, in my mind. She's her own girl. She knows her way. She's her own girl all the day. I have a friend. She talks to me. We know we see eye to eye. I have a friend. And she believes the same as me. She talks to me, she makes me smile all the time. She's on my mind, I have to hide it all the time. She's in my heart, I've known it from the start. When she's with me, she's all I see. I have a friend, she talks to me. I have a friend I rarely see. to the bass. If you don't mind, I'll just quickly move to the bass. Just enough for the bass. I'm actually going to do, it's actually kind of weird to do something like this, but here we go. This is Mercury Falling CD that Sting did. So this is a Sting song, obviously. Mercury falling, I rise from my bed, collect my thoughts together, I have to hold my head. Seems that she's gone, and somehow I am pinned. The hounds of winter, they're howling in the wind. I walk through the day, my coat around my ear. I look for my companion, I have to dry my tears. Seems that she's gone, she's leaving me too soon. I'm as dark as December, I'm as cold as the man in the moon. I still here see her face, as beautiful as day. It's easy to remember my love that way. All I hear is that lonesome sound, and the hounds of winter, well, they follow me down. I can't make the fire the way that she could. I spend all my days in the search for dry wood, board all the windows and close the front door. I can't believe she won't be here anymore. I still see her face, as beautiful as day. It's easy to remember my love that way. All I hear is that lonesome sound. Oh, the hounds of winter, they follow me down. Season for joy, season for sorrow. Where she's gone, I will surely follow. She brightened my day, she warmed the coldest night. The hounds of winter, they got me in their sights. I still see her face, as beautiful as day. It's easy to remember my love that way. All I hear is that lonesome sound, and the hounds of winter, they harrow me down. This is, next one is, no. I think it's Stephen Stills. My own version of this song. Come into this life, the son of a woman and the man who lived in the strife. He was tired of being poor, and he wasn't into selling door to door, and he worked like the devil to be more. Different kind of poverty now upsets me so. Night after sleepless night I walk the floor, and I want to know, why am I so alone? Where is my woman? Can I bring her home? Have I driven her away? Is she gone? Morning comes the sunrise and I'm driven to my bed. I see that it is empty and there's devils in my head. I embrace those many-colored bass. I grow weary of their torment. Can there be no peace? And I find myself just wishing that my life would simply cease. B.B. King. My little girl, she's a country girl. My little girl, she's a country girl. She means more to me than anything in this world. She has fixed me a breakfast, lunch, and dinner, brings it to me right on time. Fix me breakfast, lunch, and dinner, brings it to me right on time. You know, I'm so damn glad that little girl is mine. My little girl, she's a country girl. My little girl, she's a country girl. She means more to me than anything in this world. since I'm messing around on the bass, I'm going to do something that most people don't do. Either way. Actually, I'm going to do a Chick Corea song. It's one of my favorite songs. I usually sit and play with this song, and there is no bass in the song. So I tend to choose songs off of albums that have no bass to sit and learn those songs. So, by ear, of course. And here we go. I'll do my best to pull this off. I've done it. This is called Crystal Silence. We'll do that. You know what? The day my dad died, I sat down and I played the bass, and I'm going to play something that's just a little diddly on the bass, of course. But anyway, I sat down and played the bass, and this is what came out. And someone told me this was one of the more joyful things I've written, which is kind of odd because my dad was a great guy, actually. But I'll try and pull it off here. Thank you very much. Thanks for having me here today.
So while Rob is coming over and miking up and plugging in, let me remind you of some things. It is now October. It's fall. COVID-19 is still going on. But in spite of that, there's music going on too. Check out the hygienic.org, and see what's going on there. Also, the social has opened back up. Also, there are crafters and artisans all up and down the streets of New London. Check them out. Go in and see what's going on at the galleries. Go in and see what's going on at different craft shops. So much to do and so much to see in New London. We can wear our masks and socially distance and still support local art, right? And you can get to see music. Last weekend I got to see New London Big Band. They were spread out all the way around the backyard of the social. It was incredible. Socially distanced and live music at the same time. Good stuff. I'm going to talk to Rob now.
Uh-oh.
Hi.
Hey, how you doing?
Welcome to the attic.
Great to be here.
Oh my gosh, it's so good to have you back.
Oh my
what
God.
have you been doing during all this terrible pandemic?
Geez, that's a tough question. Not really, because I just isolating myself like everyone else. So what are you going to do? Actually, my art portfolio got huge. I just started diving into our artwork. So I'm an artist also. I do like what I call technical art, but.
What does that mean? What do you mean by technical art?
I was a mechanical drafts person.
Okay.
So
So do you draw houses?
No.
Buildings?
Mechanical is aircraft, so on.
Wow.
Stuff like that. So that's different.
That's pretty talented.
Yeah. Well, yeah, that's for sure. At the same time, so is my artwork. My artwork is kind of challenging. No, at times, but I've been diving into that, and so I increased my portfolio and I actually did some odd painting of sorts with spray paint, but it was pretty cool. I should have brought you something, but I found out it's valuable, so I can't just give it away anymore.
Your work is all artists' work is valuable, and all artists deserve to have their work paid for. I'm just going to tell you that's how I feel about it.
Well, yeah, it's just one of those things, and you know, just like the CD project that I got in the works, of course, that we're going to talk about. For me, that's like just I'm being stupid, but I'm one of those people like Terry can go in and just nail stuff and be satisfied, but no, at the same time, I mean, the process is a little different that I'm taking on. So and it's funny because I was trying to calculate on my way here. I have like 13 songs in the works. So one song has kind of dominated the scene because I had a vocalist come in, Lauren Allen, amazing young girl that came in and sang, and it was her first time in the studio. So I captured the magic of that moment.
That's incredible.
It is incredible, and when you hear it, you'll hear how truly incredible it is.
Magic.
I mean, yes, you will be blown away. But on that one song, I just was, like I said, I was trying to calculate because it turned into this orchestrated thing, and I think I'm about 30 hours into this song.
30 hours into one song?
30 hours of like, performing and then mixing and trying to come up. Like I basically just went and played acoustic guitar and played bass, and Lauren, of course, I wrote the song in like 1980, so it's an ancient song. But at the same time, it's a sad song, and she came in and just sang it so well and brought this song that, you know, in my eyes it's a dead song just because I'm not a female vocalist, and it is that kind of song. So it really needed that, and when she came in and did it, I was just blown away. So
awesome.
Literally in tears when she sang this, and I mean, now it's turned into this thing where I orchestrated just a bass drum part and played cymbals, and I played a couple parts and then had an actual drummer play those parts, you know, to make them right.
Right.
At the same time, I don't want to spend too much time on that, but
No.
that one song is turned into like this 30-hour project almost. You know.
Well, it would be interesting to see what you have done with that song, but I also am even more interested in you actually coming out with that CD. I think that Your concepts of how music is supposed to be played are amazing. How long have you been playing music?
I probably like 50 years, about that.
Being that you're only 40, I don't know how you do that.
Yeah, I'd love to be 40 again.
I
Yeah.
wouldn't go back to
No,
that.
I love where I am, I guess. You know, I'll be 62 in December. But I've been playing probably, you know, I got to tell you, my first like musical experience that ever triggered the musician in me.
Okay.
I was probably 4 or 5 years old, sitting on the floor watching a black and white TV in Johnny Carson. All right, and the old man will let us stay up in the middle of the summer and watch this stuff. And Roy Clark comes on and starts playing "Somewhere My Love" on like a 12-string guitar or a mandolin.
Absolutely.
And I just started to melt inside. I was just like, what is that? What is that sensation that I'm feeling? And I'm like, that was the thing that triggered my musical want, as we can say it, you know.
So did you pick up the bass or the guitar first? Or did you pick up something else first?
I actually played the trumpet when I was in 3rd grade.
Nice.
Yeah, so I started on trumpet and I got sick of spitting into the thing and making my lips vibrate like that. So I really got sick of doing, trying to do that was fucking insane. Excuse me, that was insanity, just trying to, you know. So
I played the trombone, so I understand the vibrating.
Yeah, you know what I'm
thing.
talking about then. After
I
about
do.
4 weeks of that, my lips were still tingling. I was like, nah, man, this ain't happening.
This doesn't work for me.
And there was always a broken guitar in the house. So I always had, you know, I would sit and plunk on the whatever strings were left on the thing. And of course I had 4 older brothers, so I got to listen to, my oldest brother and I are 10 years apart, so I got to listen to the best music, I think. You know, Hendrix and Grand Funk and everything in between that from the Four Seasons. And my parents were into music, so they would and when we got a record player, as it was called back then.
I had a record player.
Yeah, we got a record player that
still
the old
have a
man
record
brought
player.
home, and the first records he put on was like Hello Dolly and West Side Story and all this kind of stuff. So it was pretty interesting because, of course, my brothers came home and they were putting on the Beach Boys and Four Seasons and when Hendrix hit the speakers, the old man kind of had a freak out.
I bet.
Yeah, but it was pretty funny. Almost like the same expression he had the first day I rolled in my big bass amp.
Well, there you go. I think the first record that I ever saw was like this thick and went on. It had a little hole, but it went on, and it went on really fast. It was a 78.
A 78, I was
right?
going to say, 78.
And it was thick.
Yeah.
And I think it was somebody called, I want to say Tom Lira, and he did really kinky songs.
Oh.
Check him out, Tom Lira.
Tom
Check
Lira,
him out.
huh?
He did some song. He sang about the old dope peddler and
He was Lenny Bruce in music.
yeah, it was pretty crazy stuff. But anyway, we're here to talk about you.
Oh, man. Yeah, enough of me.
So you picked up guitar. When did you decide that you needed to move to bass?
Well, there was kind of no choice because I was an idiot trying to sing, and it was the first time we were doing a coffee house, and I didn't have a guitar of my own, but like I said, I was trying to sing. And somebody came up, there was another band there, and the bass player from that band comes up and he hands me this purple bass, and he goes, just follow the guitar player on this thing, just stay on the top string. So, you know, from that point forward, it was like the next day I had to find a bass, and one of my brothers had a friend, and I bought my first bass from Gary Bolin. Gary Bolin plays the upside down, left-handed and upside down. At any rate, he sold me a Bill Wyman teardrop Vox bass for $35 with a hard shell case. And that was my bass until a certain amount of time when I kind of just grew out of it. So I had to get something bigger and move on. But that was like 1972.
So tell us about this beautiful bass you play now.
Oh, I have
definitely a little different, and
yeah,
it's very pretty.
I love it. It's a carbon fiber. Emerald makes that bass. Emerald Guitars makes that, and the carbon fiber bass. When I started doing acoustic stuff with Terry, I got one acoustic bass, and then I said, well, you know, we did like 100-something gigs, so I was like,
Yeah,
you know,
did.
I better get something, you know, that I really love, and it's functional in a lot of different ways. I mean, I can use it in many ways, so I love the thing. It's one of those things.
What makes it the carbon bass different from a wooden bass, an acoustic wooden bass?
Well, I almost bought an upright instead, but uprights are high maintenance. I mean, and I have a hard time doing that anymore.
Yeah.
I used to do it, and at any rate, that only weighs 6.5 pounds.
Wow, it looks heavier than that,
Yeah,
doesn't it?
it looks heavier than that, and it only weighs like 6 pounds. So it's lightweight, and it's a low maintenance. It's a no maintenance instrument, really. You tune it, you play it, straight, typical wear and tear.
It's nice.
Yeah, it is beautiful.
So one of the things that you do is take other people's music that's normally played on a regular guitar and turn it into a song that's played on a bass.
Sometimes, yeah.
What gives you the drive to do, what makes you choose a song to do that on? You did Chick Corea.
I can't play it on guitar. No, well, something like that. That's something that, like different. Like I said, before I played it, I made myself a CD of different music, like Chick Corea and some Pat Metheny stuff that does not have bass.
Okay.
So I can practice with those songs and help develop the ear, and also though sometimes if you're lucky it's in a book somewhere. So at least you got some structure and you don't have to totally rely on your ear to learn this.
Now, I was under the impression you can't read music.
I used to read music well, and then I stopped for I haven't read, and this is one of the things while I get back to isolation, I'm going to get back into reading. I used to get yelled at by, I took I took music courses in high school for like 3 years, and all I did was study piano and composition.
Okay.
So I never played in a school band. I never did that. I played in my own band, and I played my own thing. And I was one of those kids, I took art and music, and that's all I took. And it was funny because, just to mention this is kind of a funny story, because, the art teacher says, oh yeah, you guys can bring in albums, and I want you to bring in albums, so we're going to draw, and we're going to do certain works of art to the music. And of course, everybody else brought in, people were bringing in like the James Gang and Led Zeppelin and this and that. And I was the only kid that showed up with I had a stack of records that was like Jean-Luc Ponty, Larry Coryell, Spaces. That was the first one I put on.
Okay.
And all the kids, when they heard that first song on that album, all the heads turned at me like, what planet are you from?
Right.
And my stack of records was not on the radio.
Of course not.
Well, if it was on the radio, it was on U of H.
Right. I love music that's not on the radio, except for WCNI. Right?
Well, my original band, none of us could really sing, so we gravitated towards instrumental music. And when you gravitate in those things, you start finding the other things that go along with it, and also plus what I studied in high school. One of the courses was strictly music appreciation.
I took that class.
So everybody took that class, and one of the other classes that was part of the course was he would put on a record and teach us to conduct.
Right.
And you acted like you were conducting the orchestra, but you read the score, so you had to follow the score.
Right.
And he knew if you were making mistakes, and he knew when you were off. And back to reading again though. My bass teacher at Hart School of Music used to bitch at me because I could read treble clef better than bass clef. So he would catch me like I'd transpose things into treble clef so I could read them faster and then study them better. So I'd show up and play them, and he knew I was faking that I was reading bass clef.
Okay.
So
well, that's
he
awesome.
He would get mad at me if he found notes, like notes in my thing that he saw G clef on, and I had transposed the stuff into.
That's pretty amazing,
different
though.
Well, you had to do it to make yourself work.
It seems to me that you are a lot more talented musically than you present yourself. Your humbleness and your quiet nature do not present as somebody that has the musical ability that you have.
I appreciate that.
And I have seen you perform with Terry. I've never seen you perform with anybody else, but I know that you do because I hear about it all the time. Other people have told me that they've played with you and that they play with you. What is your favorite way to perform? Do you like to be a solo artist? Do you like to play with Terry? Do you like to play with a band? What is your favorite way to perform?
I like the background. That's why I love the bass, because the front people are where they belong. You know, all the front stuff is fun. And I love being back with the drummer and hiding in the shadow. And the best thing about playing bass is that if you start with bass and it goes away, something's wrong, something's missing. If the bass is never there in the beginning and then it comes, all of a sudden people are going, wow, that's what was missing. But that's the best part about playing bass. People don't notice you until you stop playing. But at the same time, those spaces are the spaces that people don't realize there's a lot of music inside of that hole.
Absolutely. I agree with you 100%.
Inside of those spaces, there's more music happening than people realize.
I think a lot of people forget about the bassman, Mr. Bassman.
Well,
they forget about him.
And they think about music as a whole also, though. You know, sometimes people just have to play all the spaces. And nothing's cooler than having
rhythm. Right? Nothing's cooler than rhythm, right? Let's talk about
space in between
the songs that you write. Now, we heard you do a couple of songs that you wrote that have words in them, but you've also written several instrumentals. What makes you write a song?
Yeah, that's, you know, like sometimes, like actually some stuff I've been playing for a long time, and it's, you know, get up in the morning on a Sunday morning, for me mornings in the afternoon, but smoke a joint, drink a cup of coffee, pick up the guitar and start.
And there you go.
And there you go. You start playing and you think about the things that happened in the past or the future. I've only written one political song.
As opposed to Terry, who's written
Terry,
hundreds.
Well, Terry's written hundreds of songs about a lot of things.
She has.
So there's always, the political scene always has something brewing inside of her because she's an activist. And I'm the sit and watch it in the news guy. I don't want to stand in a protest line of people and stand, I don't want to get into anything like that at all.
I agree.
You know, I stay home, mind my own business, and when I close the door, the world is outside.
That's a good thing.
My world is inside.
So I have a couple of things to present to you. First of all, get that CD done. I have a place for it on my radio show.
Yeah, okay.
And I'll invite you to come back here. You that like to hide in the back with the drums, with your bass in the back, I love having you here in the front, in the forefront on my TV show.
I appreciate you having me.
So get that CD done.
That's
number one.
All right.
Number two, we always run out of time on this show.
Oh, okay.
It happens every time. But would you do us a favor and take us out with a song?
I will do that.
I'd like that very much, Rob.
Right.
Thank you so much. Don't forget to unbuckle.
I will do it on the guitar.
While Rob is unbuckling from his microphone, let me just remind you that we are in a pandemic. It's not just in New London. It's not just in Connecticut. It's worldwide. 1 million people have died. Do your part, wear your mask, socially distance from people, wash your hands. Let's get rid of this. Shall we? Shall we get rid of this? Do what you're supposed to do. Let's get rid of this disease so we can get back to whatever becomes normal, because I don't think we're going back to what it was before the pandemic. I don't think we'll ever go all the way back to what we knew as normal, and maybe that's a good thing. But anyway, I love you all so very much. We will see you next week, and here's Rob going to take us out with a song. Bye-bye, everyone.
Thank you very much for having me today. Never sure what to play, and that's why I don't bring a list, and that's why I make mistakes, because that's, you know, all the musical education that you have means nothing when you get out in live performance, because live performance is where the rubber meets the road, as we all know. So I'm going to just instrumental us out of here with, actually, it's original. It'll fade before I get done. wake with you in the morning and see a smile on your face. I know you're all I want, and I'll never fall from grace. I hope that you love me as much as I love you. I feel the love between us, I pray you love me too. The time we spend together means so much. All my days I long for your touch. I know we'll be together soon, every single day, and in your arms I'll want to stay. I'll never go astray. I hope that you need me as much as I need you. I feel our love between us, and I'll pray you love me too. The time we spend together means so much. All my days I long for your touch. As we grow older, know that yours I'll always be. I'll hold every moment so deep inside of me. And when I look into your eyes, I see everything I need. I hope that you'll love me for all eternity. The time we spend together means so much. All my days I long